Nothing says holiday season like snow on the ground, of course. Well, this year marks the 60th consecutive year a Christmas tree, our nation's Christmas tree, will light up the west lawn of our nation's capital. The first one was back in 1964 when the Speaker of the House told the architect of the Capitol, hey, you know what, we should get one of those things. So they bought one, a 24-foot Douglas fir for $700 from a nursery in Birdsboro, Pennsylvania. And they've been lighting up the west lawn since. Well, since 1970, because the first one died of root rot, it was actually planted in the west lawn. Since 1970, the tree that has been been put on the west lawn has been provided by the U.S. Forest Service, and they've been pulling from states with Forest Service lands where such trees grow, 24 states in total. And a lot of them were from the East Coast and Midwest places through the 70s. Idaho's turn didn't come until after the turn of this century, when we provided a 65-foot Engelmann spruce from the Boise National Forest. And on the day of the lighting ceremony 20 years ago, we celebrated a true gem of a tree, ringing in the season with a Redial poem of our own. 'Twas the month before Christmas in the mountains above Boise. A crowd had gathered.
There was a lot of anticipation.
Getting a bit noisy. People had come to see this Engelmann spruce.
It's a really big gift.
All 65 feet of it had to come loose.
It's just an honor to be a part of it.
To find this evergreen, it took only a year. And the feeling of most,
We're just so blessed to be here.
a couple of cuts from the man with the saw, the tree was left hanging as they looked on in awe.
It's so full and fat and happy.
The children were blowing. In the sky, it was snowing.
It's going to be special.
And everyone knew where this tree was going.
It'll stand before the nation's capital.
On November 3rd, it left the Boise National Forest. 2 weeks later, it was met by a chorus in Emmett. But no matter where it would go, there were parties aplenty.
We're also proud of Idaho.
On its way to D.C., it went through Minnesota, but not before Montana, Wyoming, and South Dakota. A quick stop in Illinois, and Indiana, too.
It requires permits in every state we go through.
After 23 days, it arrived on the lawn, just needing some tinsel and a star to put on.
Our tree is the nation's tree in this most historic of settings.
Our very own governor, he couldn't be prouder. As the choir from Blackfoot sang louder and louder. And I heard him exclaim as he flipped on the light, "All right. Merry Christmas from Idaho, and to all a good night." Brian Holmes, Idaho's News Channel 7. You know, it wasn't the last time Idaho contributed to the Capitol Tree Collection. We did it again in 2016 with another Engelmann spruce, a 74-footer this time from the little ski hill in McCall, which is part of the Payette National Forest. This year's tree comes from West Virginia, once again, a 63-foot Norway spruce. And it was lit back on November 28th. By the way, the spruce, most popular type of tree chosen to adorn the U.S. Capitol, having been chosen 37 times.